Okay, let's take a look real quick. We're in Geometry, Chapter 4, Section 3. Let's take a look at when we're trying to determine the length of a hypotenuse of a triangle that is 45, 45, 90. And so what we're saying here is we have a right triangle with the degrees 45 and 45. So let's take a look. If I'm looking at a triangle, right, and it's going to be a right triangle, and in that case, have a 45-degree angle. And another 45-degree angle. And then I have my 90-degree angle, right? Because this is a right triangle, so I have 90. So if I'm working with a 45, 45, 90 triangle, I can use the formula. If I want to find my hypotenuse, right? My hypotenuse is C, right here. If I want to find C, I can say C is equal to A square root of 2. Now, why am I able to do this? Because when I'm looking at a right triangle that's now particularly a 45, 45, 90, this is different than a 30 than a 30, 60, 90, right? I'm looking at a 45, 45, 90. I have a square. And so normally on a triangle, if I have a triangle, right, then I would label my sides, or my legs rather, A, B, and C, right? A, B, and C. Those would be my legs. Well, when I look at a 45, 45, remember the rule that the longest side, right? So if this is my 90-degree angle, the longest side is opposite my largest angle. My shortest side is opposite my shortest angle. So if I have two angles that are 45, like right here, then I can make I also know that the length of those sides must be the same. So if the length of this side right here is A, what would be, say, my height, and then my base right down here, well, because the base is going to be the same as the height, right? So the 45, 45, leg A and leg B are the same length. Then I can say that B on the base is equal to A. So then these two equal the same. So then it creates the formula C for my hypotenuse equals A squared. So it's in this situation, if I take a triangle, for example, and in your skill practice for 4.3, this is problem number 1. Okay, problem number 1. I'm going to say that the length of one leg is 2 inches. And since they're the same length, then I know that this must be 2 inches. So if I want to write the formula when it says determining the length, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take, and I need to create a formula that says C equals A square root of 2. Well, if A equals 2 inches, then C is going to equal A, which in this case is equal to 2 square root of 2. Okay, so if you need to, take a moment, pause the video, and see if this works out for you. And try to do number 2 on your own. Okay, well, hopefully you got number 2. And if not, you can see me about that at another during class time. But let's take a look at number 3. Okay, let's do another example, number 3. Again, when we look at number 3, we have a 45, 45, 90, right? 45, 45, 90. So that means that my legs must be the same length. If they're opposite the same angle, they must be the same length. Well, in the problem, it tells me that the length of a leg is 9 feet. And since they're both the same length, then this is going to be 9 feet. 9 feet. And my hypotenuse is always C. So again, looking at my formula, I'll change the color on it. Again, my formula where, right, and then again, A equals. So if C equals A square root of 2, and remember this is only for a 45, 45, 90. It must be a right angle with two 45 degrees on it. Okay, so C equals A square root of 2. Well, if A equals 9, then to determine the length, I'm going to take the A, which is 9 in this case, the length of the leg A, and multiply it by the square root of 2. And that would be my answer. So try to do number 4 on your own, and hopefully this helps you understand the concept.